What's up, YouTubers? This is your boy Big Metro Fan 12 coming to you with another video game review. And in this review, I'm going to talk about the game Paper Mario, which was released on the Nintendo 64 by Nintendo and Intelligent Game Systems. And this is the only RPG Mario game that I'm aware of for the Nintendo 64. And the plot of the game begins where Mario and Luigi are at home and they get like a letter inviting them to a party at Peach's castle. And when they arrive at the castle, Mario and Peach talk alone, and Peach's castles pretty much get lifted by Bowser's fortress. And during that time, Bowser fights Mario and he defeats Mario and captures Princess Peach too. And when Mario comes to, he finds out what like happens, you know what I'm saying, and he's on a mission to save Princess Peach and retrieve the seven imprisoned star spirits. And pretty much Paper Mario has the prologue along with 8 chapters, and they're divided up into sections, whether it's 2 sections, 3 or 4, which makes the total of sections 28, you know what I'm saying? And because this is a RPG, this game is pretty lengthy, like your typical RPG, you know what I'm saying? I'll say it takes you around at least 4 or 5 hours to beat. I really hadn't tallied the length of time that it takes for you to beat it, but it takes a long time to beat, like I said, your typical RPG though. Now, uh, in Paper Mario, Mario has some friends that goes with him throughout the course of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like Goomba Goomba. I can't pronounce his name, but there's one particular Goomba is a fan of Mario's, and he what he did was took his name and combined it with Mario, so it's Goomario. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Then there's Bombette, Para Party or something like that. Bao was Sushi and Loki Lester, and they will what will happen is they will help you in a lot of the battles, you know what I'm saying? So Mario won't go in alone a lot of the times, Plus, Mario has the typical heads up display when it comes to RPGs and stuff like that, like health points, points for the fire flower, bass points. You have stuff like attack powers, star energy, and stuff like that. Now, with attack power, it's divided up into Mario's weapons and his strings. With the weapons, you have stuff like boots, power boots, ultra boots, hammer, um, super hammer, ultra hammer, and plus you can use the fire flower, which start off with 5 points that you can use against different enemies in the game and stuff. And then there's the friends that I mentioned a few minutes ago, and they have their own special abilities they can use against different enemies from Bowser's camp and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, pretty much the combat system is pretty consistent with any RPG that you played prior to this particular game, like Final Fantasy, Pokemon, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And you pretty much will encounter different types of enemies, like the Goomba Brothers, um, Junior Koopa, Magic Koopa, stuff like different enemies like that, including like Bowser himself, and I would say that the majority of the enemies that you fight are new to the Mario universe, and they're pretty consistent with um, Bowser's henchmen, though. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much you can get different stuff like Koopa leaves, Koopa shells, fire flowers, and things like that throughout the course of the game. So you'll have a lot of like items and weapons to use when encountering different enemies and stuff like that. Now, the graphics and design of Paper Mario are very excellent, you know what I'm saying, with very good color palettes and stuff like that. And one thing I noticed in the prologue is that the design of Peach's castle is a callback to how Peach's castle is designed in Super Mario 64. You know what I'm saying? And I pretty much like it, you know. Plus, the controls and gameplay are pretty excellent too, you know what I'm saying? And they're responsive too. And I also like the fact that Mario's friends do accompany him throughout the game, making some of the battles pretty much a turn-based RPG. You know what I'm saying? And the soundtrack is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I would say it's one of the best soundtracks on the Nintendo 64. You know, especially with Mario games and stuff like that. You know, now I can say that Paper Mario is one of the best Nintendo 64 games, and I would definitely pretty much recommend it to anybody who is like a Mario fan of the RPGs and retro games and stuff like that. Those are the three groups of people that I definitely recommend it for, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much as far as the score, I definitely give this a 10 out of 10, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely a must have in terms of having in terms of 64 games and stuff like that. With that being said, if you like Paper Mario for the Nintendo 64, you can mention it in the comment section of the video. If there any aspect that you like the most, like the graphics or the gameplay, you can also mention that. If you think that Paper Mario is the best Paper Mario game in the franchise, you can also mention that. With that being said, if you like this video, don't hesitate to click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button too. This is your boy Big Metroid Fan 12 signing off.